Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? This is Pernell Bobby, your astrotherapist, back at it, not on a live today. I wanted to get a little bit more personal, strict, and just direct on what does Mercury entering Virgo mean for you. Honestly, I believe this is one of the best times to organize everything creative project related, all right? And to find yourself being very mindful of worrying too much. Mercury in Virgo does really govern our mental practices, our mental processes, but here in a tangible way on Earth. Not in a visionary way like fire signs, okay? Not an emotional and healing way like when we were Mercury in Cancer, but in an earthly way, okay? And Earth is, how do I physically and tangibly take care of my schedule, the task, especially if you're in a service-based business like me, myself, okay? How do I sit there and begin to manage, and even the more microscopic avenues about everything that's going on in a creative way, but also when it comes to your finances, your accounting, getting all these numbers in check. There's been a tremendous amount of chaos, and Mercury entering Virgo, Mercury in Virgo for 2022, in this month of August is happening right before the Aquarius full moon. Okay, this is for the year Mercury entering Virgo 2022, right before the August full moon in Aquarius, which will happen August 11th. Now, what's important about this, I'm going to give you some more dates later in the month. Right now, I'm recording this about 4 days prior on August 7th. There's actually a Grand Fire Trine in the sky between the moon in Sagittarius. Right now, it's really closely conjunct to the sun in Leo, okay, as well as Chiron in Aries or Jupiter in Aries, mostly Chiron in Aries. So during this time, we're going through a tremendous amount of individualistic healing on what wounds have you faced very young in life that now we're shining a new creative and bright light on it with Leo in the sky, but emotionally we're finding meaning in all that suffering and all that pain that we faced, and we're being able to reverse engineer and turn it around so that we're able to teach to others. So in the beginning of the month, Mercury in Virgo is not really making any aspects to any planets in the earlier degrees. It won't be until around 17 to 18 degrees of Mercury in Virgo where it will start to finally connect with Uranus in Taurus, another earth energy, a harmonious aspect and a trine, as well as the North Node in Taurus, currently in retrograde, all right? So what this will mean is our mind will be able to start organizing what has been chaotic around all of the tumultuous and lightning, rapid cosmic downloads that has been planted into our body from Uranus and Taurus. We have a new intuition that's been implemented in our body from Uranus and Taurus, a new way that we're looking and thinking about our money, our resources, the things we own, or even our foundational well-being, our foundational growth that has impacted our self-esteem. There has been chaos that's been created because Uranus is bringing such a rapid development and conscious upgrade of our intuition in our body. All earth signs throw their intuition in the body. Mercury, now entering Virgo, will be able to look at that chaos and mentally process some of the chaos, some of the madness that has been going on in your life, especially after this Cancer energy just left, or even the drama that Leo season presents. There's a tremendous amount of madness, and Virgo has the ability to start taking a needle and thread the seams of reality to everything that has been a little bit more mystical, a little bit more intangible, a little bit more untouchable. We've all been having a feeling that these great changes are coming. We've been having a feeling that you feel more divinely guided. You feel more intuitively able to check in and connect with your guides. But that's all esoteric, and it's still a little bit hidden. It's still a little bit in that watery energy. While Venus is still here, we're valuing what has come up from our past lives, what has come up from the healing that we've undergone in the last couple months, especially the emotional and the mental healing. Virgo now in Mercury has the ability to say, look, all of that, all right, you have the opportunity to do one or two things, all right? Allow yourself to come into more fun, which is one of the cards I pulled, which is the Otter, all right? It's asking us to have a more unobstructed joy. You're going to be able to embrace this joy by not falling into the downsides or the negative energies of Virgo and Mercury, which can really make us so mentally chaotic that we actually begin to hurt and harm our dreams. We begin to ignore our intuition. All right. So that's not going to happen until later in the month, around the 21st of August, when Mercury in Virgo will go in opposition to Neptune in Pisces. So Neptune in Pisces is asking us to go ahead and dissolve all of these illusions, dissolve the barriers around spirituality and divinity, all right, while gaining a new philosophy, something that's more lucid and free-flowing. While Virgo is very strict and stringent and likes to pretty much over worry, and it can kind of suck the fun out of the dreams that you have. It kind of sucks the fun out of what you understand from your more divine and intuitive self. All right, when your masculine and your feminine energy is put together. Mercury in Virgo can really struggle with these more esoteric themes, but the otter is asking us to go ahead and address our own personal self-criticism with more fun. Mercury in Virgo is a very critical person. It's critical of other people, sure, absolutely, but it's much more critical of itself. And during this time, you must be mindful and watch out for people that are really being too hard on themselves, and they finally have the ability to mentally process all of the healing and mentally process all of the ways that they either have taken care of themselves through self-care rituals and spiritual practices that keep them grounded, earth sign on a daily, or you're recognizing what have you been eating that has not been supporting you actually grounding your dreams, grounding spirituality, grounding your guidance from God knows where, up above and beyond, actually here on earth. This is a time where, when I'm looking at all the fire energy and the Grand Fire Trine I talked about, we are now taking action and asserting ourselves. But if you are naturally a very stable and non-action oriented person, this energy can feel very chaotic for you. So Mercury in Virgo is actually having the ability to organize the chaos. As a feminine energy, it does it in its own way, which is really why I got this marine life card, which I wanted to show you. Marine life is Pisces, all right? The marine life is Pisces. The ocean, the seas is Pisces, but it's opposite of Virgo. So again, mentally, later in the month, around August 21st, after the full moon in Aquarius, you're going to be looking at this, which, if you look at the card, look how many different species are there in this marine life card. It's already a little bit chaotic as an ecosystem to live. And Mercury in Virgo is allowing you to actually organize all of the chaos in your personal environment and how you serve or relate with others, okay? How others are serving you, how they're not serving you. And this is a lot of going into that Aquarius full moon, because we're checking our boundaries where certain friendships have supported you in earlier stages of your life, yet and still now they're beginning to hold you back and weigh you down. And then potentially other things that did weigh you down before, new doors, new avenues are busting wide open, which is creating more chaos. But Mercury in Virgo has the ability to organize it. The key themes with this is to recognize that you're going through a lot of destruction of old habits and ways that you used to take care of yourself spiritually, but also mentally and physically especially. You're no longer relying on the old methods. Now you're being asked to stop cycling the past and actually realize that you need to step through a new door, which is always going to be chaotic in some fashion, or at least present a little bit of madness because it's new. But you have the processing center. Mercury is the processing center. It's how we make sense of the color green and that things are moving and shifting. This marine life card is actually here for you. It says richness. Wow, I just got burnt by my own incense. Okay, that's a definite, who is that? That is, I'm not going to spend time and energy on that. I'm not going to spend it there. When you get, the body is one of the indicators. So when I get burnt on a finger like this, I know that this finger is somebody. This is Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, Leo. So that was Leo in between Virgo. Look at that. So what it says is, for an example, this is your body's intuition. Between the bridge between Leo and Virgo, I need to make sure that I'm watching out for being too impulsive, okay? The moon right now as I record is in Sagittarius. The sun is in Leo. Aries is in Jupiter in retrograde. It's asking me to be very careful and not be too impulsive, not move too quickly on how I handle and manage the chaos. So that's one theme right there, how I just help you prove the intuition is put into our body, but we're now able to better register these signs, all right? So as I now watch out for this incense that's burning, which again, something in the physical earthly world, an incense, all right, is allowing me to further progress my communication methods, all right, and the intuition, and is asking me to slow down with this message, so I shall. Fertility is yours. Your wishes will be granted. There is more than one way to find a solution to a problem. Adapt to the new. Now, more than one way. Mutable signs, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces. Mutable signs are more in the fashion, they work in a magical way. They don't hit things head on. They're not very direct, all right? But they're also not very fixated. They don't very much stay stuck in the old. Mutable signs dissolve things out of your life so that something remains at the end. So understand that Virgo and Mercury entering Virgo, it's asking us not to just do one thing with a full head of steam and then get blinded in the process, but to do a little bit of your dishes, to step away and then go outside and take care of your body for 20 minutes, just do some basic movement. And then you go back and you go work on that creative project of yours, but you tell yourself, hey, you know what? At 1 o'clock, I'm going to stop. And then from there, you go take a nap. And when you wake, you go fuel yourself with some healthy foods, and then you go back to the creative project. But it's not doing everything at once. And you're looking to find more efficient ways, more practical ways to do it all. Efficiency is key with Virgo. Right now, there's something in your life, and here's the question I want you to ask. What in my life is really not very efficient at this stage of my life? And if you can go ahead and ask that question, you're gonna get an answer. Right? Now it's like with the fire energy in the sky in the earlier month, while Mercury is in Virgo, you allow yourself to actually assert yourself confidently, boldly, even though you're in the new. You're able to take risk even though it's scary, and you're going to be rewarded because Mercury in Virgo can actually have the fastest processing system with the most efficient manner to bring all these elements of life, all these elements of your daily living, your routines, your spiritual practices into some sort of a system that works uniquely for you so that you can better show up in service for others. So really, this is the key message that I have right here. Make sure that you recognize you're out of balance, okay? When you're feeling gloomy, you're sighing, and you're making silly excuses on a day-to-day. This is not how you represent the fire energy that's currently in the sky. You don't make excuses. You realize that it's tough, you realize you're taking a risk, and you go for it anyways. But when you're in balance, you're feeling full of love. You need absolutely nothing, and you are ready to bring yourself into balance. That's how you do it, by going to a dance party, having a dance party. I just did earlier today in my kitchen by myself and my partner, having a celebration. Go outside, buy yourself some physical new things, some new crystals, a freaking earring, a plant. I just bought this plant yesterday, for example, and the pot. Go buy yourself a tarot deck. Go buy yourself something in the physical world to actually celebrate all the work that you have done up so far now, and take it easy on yourself, because the Otter is something that's the most joyful character in the deck, and it really says be mindful and have this fun without doubt, worry, or skepticism. Imagine yourself with a little bit more Otter energy and what it could look like to actually take you there, all right? These are the questions that are asking, what will it take to transport you to the precious place of happiness and joy as soon as possible? There is a celebration that awaits you. I hope that this Mercury entering Virgo message was very powerful and potent for you. I'm gonna say thank you for your subscription. Check my email list and drop a Virgo sign if you're really loving the fact that Virgo is here to help and support you in these days and these stages. Drop the Virgo sign in the chat and go ahead and check out the email list so that you can get some of our free giveaways from different mentorships that we're running, astrology reports and forecasts, and so much more. There are free events happening behind the scenes that many of you are missing in group scenarios and settings, and it would be dope to have you. Thank you. Hit the emoji, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe if you're brand new. Love.